In this video, we're going to show you how to install the cooling fan on your Toyota Camry located on the back side of your radiator. On the bottom side of your radiator, you want to go ahead and remove this splash shield if you have it. There's a series of 10mm bolts going around the perimeter. Loosen and remove all of those. On our particular model, we have some plastic clips or retainers here. Yours might be a little bit different, but you want to go ahead and remove whatever you have there. We're going to remove this here. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Remove that splash shield. And on the bottom side of your radiator, normally there's a drain valve, normally just to the left over here on the driver's side. This particular radiator does not have that. So what we have to do is loosen our lower radiator hose clamp here. We're going to gently slide this back and drain our coolant into a retaining bucket. Make sure you're wearing safety glasses. When doing something like this here, you don't want to have any coolant splash in your eyes. Slide this back, twist that hose. Now at this point here, we had drained our radiator just enough to get that coolant below the upper radiator hose. We go ahead and slip this back into position, and we're going to secure this. I'm going to go ahead and loosen and remove the 4 fan bolts. These are all 10mm. You can use a ratchet, you can use your gear wrench, whatever you can fit into the place. All right, with these 4 bolts out, we want to separate the electrical connector for our fan temperature switch. I'm going to press in on this little tab and just wiggle that off. On the driver's side of the radiator here, we have the fan connectors. So we're going to press down on the tabs and pull these off. Set those off to the side. Going to remove our upper radiator hose. We're going to use some pliers on the clamp. Slide that hose off. And over here we have our expansion tank hose. Slide that off and set that aside. On the passenger side of the radiator, we have our AC cooling fan here. This is the 4-blade unit. Follow the harness up and it comes to right here. I want to press down on this tab and separate this connector. Remove the 4 10mm bolts securing our 2 fans in place. Grab that AC cooling fan, pull that straight up and out, set that aside. Grab our cooling fan, pull that up and out. On our old radiator cooling fan here, we want to go ahead and remove these little connectors here. So we're going to flip this over. On the back side, those little retainers, we're going to use our needle nose pliers, pinch the tabs and push those through. I'm going to remove these tabs from the connector so we can reuse these here. Here it is. So when you're reaching the pick end, there's a little tab here. I'm going to go ahead and operate that tab, and you're going to release it from the little lock underneath here. I'm going to take the connector for our new fan and line that up. I'm going to slide that right back on this way here. You hear it snap into place. Now there's another harness here that runs across the back of the fan, and it's just held down place by a couple of retainers, just little clips. Want to be careful when removing this harness. You don't want to pull on the wires, so you can just kind of open up the little tabs here. And gently slide that out, and then pop this clip off here. We're going to switch this over to our new fan assembly. Now we'll remove this harness here and bring this on over. And we're going to remove the retaining clips here. Just pop those little clamps off. And go ahead and line up our connector. I'm going to take this connector here, line that up as well. Pop that in. And we're going to use some securing straps here. Now these don't have to be super tight, you just want to have them there to secure the harness in place. Right along the side here, I'm going to pop this harness into this little tab. And let's go ahead and lower the fan down into position. Drop that down, slide that on over. I'm going to get the two upper bolts started here to secure that fan in place. Now we're not going to tighten these yet. We're just going to thread these bolts in by hand. We'll come back and tighten those down later on. Drop down your AC cooling fan. Lower that into position. Let's go ahead and get the two upper bolts installed for this now. On the driver's side, we'll go ahead and connect our connectors here for the fan assembly. We'll press this on. You can feel them and hear them clip into place. Let's go ahead and install the connector on the passenger side. Line that up. Press that on. Go ahead and line up that upper radiator hose. I'm going to go ahead and slide that on, make sure that is fully seated. There we go. Install the expansion tank hose. I'm going to run our harness up and over, put the little retainer tab into the radiator right there. Install the connector, push that on, install your 4 fan bolts. And because these are being secured into the composite material for the radiator, they just need to be snugged down. You do not want to over tighten these. So once that bottoms out, you're pretty much good. You don't have to keep on going. Install your lower splash shield. Now there would normally be another one up in the front here, and should be another one right about here, but ours are broken in there. So you want to go ahead and install yours if you have those there. I'm going to install our plastic push pins. Lock that down. Install the one on the driver's side. Lock that one down. And once those are in place, lining that up, let's go ahead and snug down the screws. Go ahead and snug down the 4 bolts across the top. Once those bolts bottom out, this is as far as you got to go. Using a funnel and the appropriate radiator fluid here, I want to go ahead and fill up the radiator. I'm going to keep on doing this here until we're filled up right to the top of the neck here. Now that we're filled up, I'm going to go ahead and remove our funnel. Go ahead and install our radiator cap. To finish up this cooling system, I want to go ahead, follow our expansion tank hose over to our expansion tank on the side over here. I want to go ahead and fill up this tank to the full mark. Once that's all set, you want to go ahead and take the vehicle for a road test. Come on back and just double check that coolant level here. You want to go ahead and if you need more coolant, add through this cap here. Never open up the radiator cap when it's hot.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.